Yours, we tell him, we tell him, we tell him.
I'm back. To the top, I'ma make it. Niggas just can't take it. To the top, I'ma make 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 it. Niggas just can't take it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you got a pack, light that up.
Death taxes and the Nets beating the Knicks. Ain't that beautiful?
As bad as things are, it's still great. 9-0 since January 2020. 9-0. Poor Randall.
Okay.
Poor Randall. That was beautiful. That was such a much needed game, Chubbs. Like, I just got off work. I'm driving home. The game's playing. I'm like, I shouldn't be, but I'm watching it in the car. And then I get home to watch that masterpiece of Kyrie in the fourth quarter. But
it was just beautiful from start to finish. Even when they went on that run, it was just a good game to watch.
yeah, I mean, dude, I said it at the beginning. Oh, by the way, AJ should be here. He's just he's having some technical issues, but hopefully he'll be here. Before we get into, I don't do the good breakdown. I mean, I'll pull up stats and whatnot, but I definitely don't do the breakdown that AJ does. I don't remember all that crap. But
I think we got Cypher to do that. So Cypher, when we
start screaming for stats, like just you just start dropping them, or is Cypher coming up? Like, I don't know.
Cypher, DM me if you want to come up. I'll send you a link.
So, I mean, let's just say, like, in the beginning, I hopped in Nets Twitter, like one of the spaces there, and I just like hopped on for a second. And I was like, for me, the key of this game was, like, I wasn't concerned about the Kyrie Clax minutes. Mm-hmm. It was really the non-minutes when they were off. It's like, because you got no Ben, but we don't even have to get into Ben. I don't even want to talk about Ben. No TJ Warren. So I was like, they've got to win. They've got to win and play well on the non-Kyrie Clax minutes. And the role players have got to step up. And today, everybody showed up, right? Like, let's like Royce O'Neal, 14 points. Joe Harris, 16, right? Seth Curry, 14. Like, it's been a while where we saw, same thing. Yuta had 9, right? Even Patty Mills had 7. Sumner had 6. Dayron had 6. Cam threw in 5. It was like this was one
all around team.
Yes,
team game. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
And that, quite honestly, in this realm that we're in with no KD and now Ben day to day, and who knows, hopefully TJ is okay and not out that long. Like, that's what it's got to be like if you want to win these games. Like, that's just the reality. Like, if you don't get everybody chipping in to some degree, it's going to fall heavily, obviously, on Kyrie Irving Clax to like carry the weight. And it just, the Knicks came into this game after beating the Celtics. Like, as much as I don't like the Knicks, I'm not going to like look at them and say they haven't actually been playing good team basketball, right? Because they have, right? If I'm just being a non-judgmental, like, basketball fan, like, they've been playing well. So it was great to see all of that happen. And yeah, there was a couple moments in the game where it got ugly, right, defensively, and we couldn't score. But by and large, man, that was an all-around team effort. You saw a lot of trusting, a lot of extra passes that resulted. I'm sure, like, this is where Cypher would come in. It would take me a while to pull it up, but maybe I can find this team stats. Like, the amount that we hit from 3, like,
I think overall, this was our best game from our shooters. Definitely our best game from our shooters.
As a team, we shot 55% from 3. We took 40 attempts and made 22. So that's a little over 50%. Obviously, 55%, right? So that was huge, the fact that we were hitting. But anyways, Chubbs, go for it, man.
Yeah, no, like, and I'm not what I'm about to say. I don't want to come off as arrogant, but before I get into that, all around great game from the entire team. I'd say this is probably our best shooting performance in a while. Almost everybody that touched the floor contributed in a way. Um, the Kyrie less minutes, the no clacks minutes, it was brutal, but it wasn't as brutal. It was to the point where we could have maintained to where they came in. We can run away with it again. Um, and Kyrie Irving in the fourth quarter, like 20 in the fourth quarter, like unprecedented. He just shut shit down. But the one takeaway I have with this game, it doesn't matter who we have on that court. They just can't touch us. Like, am I bugging when I
You
say
talking
that?
about that? No. Are you talking about the Knicks specifically?
Specifically the Knicks? Since January and literally since January, they haven't beaten us.
Yeah, because outside of Kyrie and Clax, like Randall's better than anybody on our team.
Yes.
At the moment, right? I'm not talking about right. Like RJ Barrett, like where was he tonight? Like even Brunson, right? Like Brunson,
Literally.
Randall, and outside of like Clax and Kyrie, when those two are off the court, no, you're not crazy. And those three are on the court or a combination of the two. It's like, bro, like what? Like there must be some sort of energy getting up against the Nets get up against the Knicks, bro. Especially like, dude, Royce O'Neal, bro, was the defender of the game on Randall.
That took me by surprise the most out of this game. He
and
took
I'll tell
the
you why
challenge perfectly. He took the
I'll
challenge
tell you
perfectly.
why that doesn't surprise me though. Because if anybody watches, we've all agreed, like Royce gets blown by a ton.
Mm-hmm.
But if you watch him, he is a better in the paint defender than he is a perimeter defender.
Right. More so a post defender, probably, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I wasn't shocked at that, but that was like I was shocked. So you're not wrong, dude. But
yeah,
we'll get up Cypher and AJ. AJ are up here.
Yeah, but to finish, then I'll kick it to Cypher and AJ. You look at this game, and this is my thing. I won't be surprised if the Knicks don't beat us for a while. And I say that for good reason. If there was any time the Knicks to beat the Nets, it was now. It was tonight.
Oh, tonight was the game for that. Yeah.
Because think about it. No KD, no Ben Simmons. The Knicks came off beating the Celtics for twice. Great game from the Knicks versus the Celtics. And we're coming off a game where we got embarrassed on the court in the Detroit Pistons. This was literally the game to beat us. And they couldn't even do that right.
No.
Like, I don't know if we're their kryptonite. I don't know if Spike Lee wasn't there. I don't know. They just can't do that.
Mariano Rivera, the Yankees closer, was there. So that you know. I think every time Kyrie
game the way he did.
Yeah, I think every way Kyrie closes the fourth, they should start playing Enter Sandman. I really do.
Yeah.
Hey, hit that like button and subscribe, please. Put them likes up for that net win over 9-0 against the Knicks.
9-0. They haven't beaten us in 4 years. It's going on 4 years now.
I think since January 2020. I think we've 9-0 since then.
It just doesn't make sense that we've beaten them with just KD, with just Kyrie, and we've beaten them with neither on the court. They're in their own right when it comes to this rivalry. They've been pathetic as of late. Like, just good team win. I'll hand it off to Cypher and AJ.
Well, here, let AJ. Are you there? Let's see if AJ's there. Just real quick, just shout out to the chat. Chris K, what's up? Jared Williams, obviously Brian Seeley, Mello D, Pert. Kevin Durant's here. Trash ass franchise, even worse team run by. Shout out to Kevin Durant's here. Shout out to Blade. I'm sure the regulars here. Isaac, Brendan, Mook. I like that name. Luigi, BB, all the regulars. Welcome. But yeah, Cypher, AJ. I don't know if AJ's coming in the mix yet. Hopefully he is. But Cypher, man, what did you? Cypher, give us like your thoughts, how you viewed the game, what you thought. And if you want to go into throwing any stats in there, you are the stat man. So like, just hop in there, bro. What's going on, man?
Yeah, good. We much needed win. We needed this. So far we're 3-6 without Kevin Durant. Judging by the timeline, it's likely Kevin Durant will be back by February 9th. So that's 5 more games. So hopefully we could stay afloat. Us winning this game means we're still the 4th seed with a little bit of wiggle room. In terms of the game, yeah, we started off strong, great ball movement. Royce O'Neal was hitting his shots early on. Joe Harris was hitting his shots. Yeah, just a great team basketball. And, good first half. And then the third quarter is when they started to go on that run. And this is where I blame Jacques Vaughn. In those non-Kyrie minutes, he should really just play Cam Thomas. Like, I don't understand why, but,
that was a little
agree.
confusing. Yeah, like I think you could have given Cam a little bit more run when it was getting a little shaky. I agree.
Yeah, and overall, Cam, decent game. He was 5 points, 2 for 5 shooting. He hit a 3, a clutch 3, 2 steals, a rebound, and assist.
Well, Cypher, pause there on Cam Thomas for a second.
Yeah.
Do you think, and tell me if I'm right or what your opinion is, and then go on, I think that there's times in those games where we're struggling to get a basket, especially when we're down all these people, and somebody like Cam Thomas and his ability to be that free guy, right? Like there's times where Cam Thomas looks off Kyrie, looks off Kevin Durant, like does shit when you're like, dude, don't do that when these guys are in there, and he gets sat down. But then there's these stretches where nobody can score, and I feel like that's where you go to Cam Thomas.
Completely agree.
And you let him just go and see what he can do, because that's when it seems like he's the most effective, is when he just gets like free reign. And I feel like that would have been a moment to maybe go to. I don't know if I'm crazy, chat, let me know. But
no, not at all. I 100% agree with you, because I understand that it's a little bit annoying to see Cam Thomas take a contested shot when Kyrie's on the floor, Kevin Durant's on the floor, because you'd rather them take it. But when they're not playing, like Cam Thomas is the 3rd best shot creator on this team, and next to obviously KD and Kyrie. And even when they're in the game, I don't mind Cam Thomas like taking a bad shot, because it's not healthy for this team to constantly rely on 1 or 2 guys to generate all the offense. So I understand that it's a little annoying to watch him take like a contested mid-range or a step back 3, but long term, it's probably better, and I'm not saying we should depend on it, but Cam Thomas, just off the bench, he should be getting some of those non-Kyrie minutes. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that he is.
Especially right now, I don't see that it hurts, especially when you're struggling for shots.
Yeah. But yeah, then the 4th quarter. So that's Kyrie. The first 3 quarters, Kyrie was playing bad. 11 points on 4 for 14 shooting. In the 4th quarter, 21 points, 8 for 14.
Oh, completely different. I think they figured out how to get him some room, and he figured out how to manipulate that, because to his point though, they were double teaming him quite a bit.
Yeah,
they were making it difficult. I think he was forcing up shots off some of that defense, but I agree.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, a great game. Kyrie Irving overall, 32 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 12 for 27 from the field. For some reason, Kyrie, 3 for 6 from the free throw line. So just an off night for him from the free throw line. Claxton, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 blocks. He had a career high in assists. And our role players, particularly Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Seth Curry, I believe they combined for 44 points on 59% shooting.
Damn. And the majority that's from 3-point, man. Lights out.
Yep. Yeah, and off the bench, other guys, real quick, Yuta Watanabe, 9 points, 3 for 3 from 3. Daron Sharp, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Patty Mills, defensively, Patty Mills, I don't like his minutes, but he had 7 points, so, we'll live with it. And Sumner, 6 points, 2 for 2 from 3. And Cam Thomas, as I said, for 5 points, 40% from the field, had 2 steals. So overall, just a really good team game. 55% overall from 3.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, a couple things here. Shout out to Conch, trade Bet immediately. Well, I'm sure later we'll have some Ben conversation. it might be too soon for what I would say, but I think it's worth having a conversation. Shout out to Martell Hickson. Kyrie's leadership has improved, top 75. I will, even without the improvement of the leadership that you're talking about, man should have been in. As frustrated as I may have been as a fan with him at times, like I'm not even going to sit up here and say there's no way you could not look at Kyrie and his skill set and be like, he's not top 75, right? Like, you ask any player in the game about Kyrie's, you ask him anybody about his skill and who like the best ball handler in the league is, and most of them will say Kyrie. Like, it's not like he hasn't. So I don't know, but I agree.
He's hated by the media, because you saw
Yeah,
the ranking.
exactly.
He was fourth in media voting.
Yeah, and let's be honest, dude, and me included. I there's times where I'll know his skill level, but yet things that he does that may frustrate me, and it comes across as that, like, it just, I think it, unfortunately, it puts people in a position to judge him as a player skill wise, which I think is dumb, but it may come off that way. But I mean, what I've seen from Kyrie this year after coming back from his time off has been nothing but amazing. I think he's bought into somewhat of Jacques Vaughn's system at time, trusting his teammates, not just for. I think the one other thing that I will say about Kyrie Irving that I think he's gotten that's been great so far this year is showing that trust in other teammates at times. He has his moments where, he's cooking and then he forces up shots, and instead of like going away from it, like he might force it, but he's gotten even better at that. And tonight was another moment where, I think in the third, he was kind of forcing it. He was pushing against multiple defenders, and then he got away from that and he started moving the ball around. But then the fourth started, and it was a combination of both, like him just getting his shots and then also moving around and trusting players. So, AJ, are you there? Or I'm sorry, Cypher,
man.
is that all you had?
Yeah, one more thing. So Kyrie Irving, something else I want to compliment about him is that over the last 5 games, he's averaging 7.6 assists. So his playmaking, you're right, there is a stark difference, because before he was just forcing offense, but finally he's taking advantage of his gravity. Before Kyrie Irving would, he's not a bad passer by any means, but recently, especially since, the last 5 games, he's just finally taking advantage, finding the open man, taking advantage of when he gets doubled. When Kevin Durant gets doubled, he's very turnover prone. Kyrie Irving, something out that he has over Kevin Durant is just, he's just so much better at just taking advantage of those double teams and finding the open shooter. That's all I got to say.
Well, when you can stop on a dime and get out of any situation. Yeah. But AJ, welcome. Take it away. 9-0 over the Knicks.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great, bro.
Yes, sir. Let's get this dub, man. It feels so good to smoke the Knicks pack tonight, bro. That Knicks pack tonight is just amazing.
So, I mean, AJ, I don't know that you got to see this, bro, but I think you created a masterpiece. That was beautiful. Did you create that, or where did you find that?
Somebody, I forgot, it was a long time ago. Like, I think I saw it on, I don't know, somebody sent me it, because Julius Randle was going through his problems, and they were like, "Yo, he's not him." And then he sent me that video, and I was like, "I gotta keep this, because he really isn't." You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not that guy. He's not. But yeah, like, I guess you guys really said it all about this next game. Honestly, I wasn't expecting us to shoot like this. We shot 50%. Did we shoot 50%? We shot 50%, right? From 3.
We shot 55%.
55% from 3. I'm like, bro. Joe Harris was hitting the corner. Joe Harris, I saw Joe Harris make a contested fadeaway 3 tonight, and I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, this is unreal. Yuta, everybody stepped up. It's like Jacques Vaughn had us like prepared to play, and it's funny that we lost to the Pistons at all teams and bounced back like this versus the Knicks and look just so focused. And this is a Knicks team coming back from a win on the Celtics. So it's like
huge win on the Celtics.
Yeah. So it's like, bro, I'm going into this game thinking like, oh my God, how are we gonna play? And everybody was just locked in from the bench, Cam, Sumner, Dayron, Yuta, everybody that got on the floor tonight was just, prepared, ready to contribute. And it was just amazing to see. Yeah, Joe was making his middies too. Yeah, Joe made his middies. The only thing, probably, again, Kyrie didn't score in the third, but this even shows you, like, Kyrie didn't even score in the third, and we still kept the lead. Guys were just hitting shots. This fourth quarter, it did look at times like when the Knicks cut it to 6, it did look at times like Kyrie was forcing out. We probably talked about this already, but they looked like they were forcing it. Like, a lot of these shots, it was literally the save us Kyrie offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had no offense at all in this fourth quarter, bro. It was just literally save us Kyrie. Am I bugging?
To put it better, set the captain save a whole offense.
Yeah, exactly.
The captain save a whole offense. Bro, yeah.
I was like, we're not running nothing. Like, it was to a point where Royce got the ball and he wasn't even looking at the basket. He was like running to Kyrie, like, Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? So that point, again, Kyrie's greatness just stood above it all. So it didn't really matter. But yeah, it just worries me. Like, I know it's the Knicks, so we run the Knicks, so the Knicks are our sons, but against other teams, that's not sustainable. Like, it's not.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, we love Kyrie, but how much can Kyrie do this against, like, the great teams? I mean, he can do it. He did it against the Warriors and he did it against the Jazz, but it's like, if you combine all these games and then games in a row, it's like, how long can he keep doing this? It's hard. Are guys gonna shoot like this? Let me know. Is Joe gonna shoot like this next game? Is Yuta gonna shoot like this next game? Is Royce gonna shoot like this next game?
I hope they do.
What happens if they don't shoot like this? That's what I'm scared of. That's what I'm really scared of. Let me know in the chat. Yeah. And I also thought Cam should have got some minutes too in that.
I mean, bro, AJ, if our role players shot like this consistently, like, I would have zero concerns about KD being out. Like, yeah, you would have some defensive issues, I think, right? But at the same time, bro, it's like, if our team could just hit those wide open shots, like, these role players could just step up and hit when it comes to them like that, it would just be so much better basketball. It would take so much pressure off Kyrie. Like, because my biggest fear right now is Kyrie and Clack's, like, injury or getting just overused, right? Like, because we know when you push guys to the limit, injuries are a lot more available to happen to a player, and that's, like, my biggest fear. So it's like, tonight was a great night to not have to just rely fully on two players or one player for that matter. Like, it just overall was. So
let me ask you this: the thing with the Cam Thomas issue, do you think? Well, there was a moment in the it was a moment like Seth Curry hit a big shot in that 2 minutes left in that fourth quarter, but there was a moment in that fourth quarter where we could not, outside of Kyrie, no one could get a bucket. So
I don't think you. Okay, well, here, let me tell you. I know exactly where you're going, because Cypher was giving his breakdown, and I don't know if you heard it, and he brought up Cam Thomas. And we got to a point in the discussion where it was like, we see when Cam comes in and where we get frustrated, like, right? Like, when he's in a lineup with Kyrie, KD, other players, and we don't need Captain save a Cam, right? Like, we don't need him going off, like, and trying to get his own buckets. And that's where we get frustrated, and you see him look off, and then he doesn't continue, and people get frustrated. But we agreed and said, this is where I think Jacques Vaughn needs to utilize Cam Thomas more, is when nobody is able to hit a shot and we're struggling, you put Cam Thomas in and you let him cook up and let him go rogue and, like, try to score, because that can get things started again. Here you do, like, the one thing that we can't deny about Cam Thomas is he has what's the wording for it? He is the type of player that can get his own shot at will at times.
Yeah.
Outside of a system like moving the ball around. And it's like, that is the perfect time to deploy Cam Thomas. If you're looking for that perfect moment, is exactly where you were going with. Cypher said it. I agree. Like
he's honestly one of the
that's
only
the guy.
guys that gets to the rim and gets to that mid-range area, because none
Yeah,
of our
even
guys are
if we're
doing that.
struggling to score, because
Yeah.
I mean, how many times you've seen 5 seconds or less on the clock, Cam's got the ball, and you need a score, and he's able to get the score or get the ball or at least get in there and get a shot up in comparison to other players. That's the perfect time for Jock to put Cam in, because I don't know that you want to encourage him just constantly being like a solo player, but at least recognize you have a player on your bench that can actually get shots up and get you a bucket potentially if you need it.
Yeah, because it was working in the first half. Probably Syfe had the stats on that. It was working in the first half when Cam come off the bench. But other than most of our guys on this team are mostly spot up shooters. Like, they're not going to really drive to the bucket and draw in the defense. You know, I mean, Seth can do it at times, but he doesn't really. Yuda's more spot up in the corner. Joe is a spot up guy. So it's like Cam is one of those only, and I guess Sumner, you can add Sumner in that list. Those are the only guys that really attack the basket. Because when Kyrie gets doubled and trapped, and I thought the Knicks did this in the fourth quarter, when Kyrie gets doubled and trapped, it's like everybody just stands there with like deer in the headlights. You know, we just stand there deer in the headlights, or he passes it to Claxton and Claxton gives it right back to him. He passes it to Royce gives it right back to him. You know, it's like nobody's like, okay, well, they're focusing on Kyrie, so I'm gonna drive in and get my own bucket instead of just looking at Kyrie. You know, it's just, I don't know. Let me see some of the chat here. Yeah, we the Kings of New York. Shout out to the chat right now. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Empire 717. They just with the Knicks podcast. Their fans are pissed. Like, they really thought they was gonna beat the Nets. Yo, silly Knicks, man. You know we run the bro. They not beating us, bro.
I mean, mind you, I said it before and I said it again. If there was any time,
this was the best time.
This was the best time for him to finally get right versus us.
Yeah.
You just came off a good victory versus the Celtics. We just came off an embarrassing defeat versus the Pistons.
Yeah.
You guys have been on a pretty good streak where you've been fighting and beating teams.
Yeah.
We are literally just trying to keep afloat with our best players out.
Yeah.
And y'all still can't fucking beat us. Like, you see last day, I'm really, and respect to the guy that called in when he said, you know, you got to respect the Knicks for what?
Oh, yeah. You're right.
And it's all respect to the callers. I respect, but I understand, but still, why do we have to respect the Knicks? They literally cannot beat us at our worst.
Respect the Knicks. Bro, we smoking on that Knicks pack. You see the screen?
Beat them
like,
with just KD. We beat them with just Kyrie. We beat them with neither on the court.
We beat him with Cam Thomas.
Respect the
Literally.
Knicks. Respect the Knicks? How? How you respect somebody that we're undefeated against? You know that? Undefeated. They haven't beat us in like years, bro.
Not being a crosstown rival in 3 years is nasty work. That is disgusting.
Like, just put the Brooklyn logo on MSG. Like, just put it on MSG. We might as well just do this.
Do you know how insane that is?
Like, Knicks fans, like, we might as well just put the Barclay or the Brooklyn logo on top of the MSG. You know, you just might as well change those colors to black and white. You know, so because we own that. But yeah, Julian's in here. Get Julian in here if you want.
Yeah, I pulled him up. What up, Julian?
Hello.
Yo.
Why you say it like that?
He's a hello.
Yeah. How about that W? How y'all feel about
beautiful. It was beautiful.
How about them Knicks?
Trash.
The licks?
How about the what?
Wait. Julius who?
Dubious Handles. That's who.
Dubious Handles. Did you say Dubious Handles?
Dubious Handles.
Dubious Handles. That's what
Dubious.
That's what Jalen Rose said when they played
that is what he said. That is what he said. I saw that.
Deuce McBride. He really thought he was him with this. He thought you were gonna yam on. You thought you had this, McBride? Come on.
They thought they had a dub. That's what it looked like. When they walked off the court, they just looked so upset. Well, that's 10-0, right?
Yeah,
it's 9-0, but
it's
9-0.
Are you sure?
It's still a crazy stat. Yeah, it's 9-0.
It's still a crazy
stat. Is it 10?
I
Might
could
be, I
have
don't know.
sworn it was 10. I don't know, bro.
Since January.
But you know what? But
2021.
But I'm gonna tell my kids it was 10, so it don't even matter. It's 10 to know. That's a
That's
L.
a fact. Did you see your boy's magical fourth quarter, man?
Yeah, he has 4 of those in the season. I
Oh,
think
my
they
goodness.
said nobody else has one. I think they said one other player has 120-point fourth quarter in the season or
my
some shit
God.
like that. He has 4.
They gotta
But
just
it's
hand the clutch award to Kyrie, bro. I don't like that clutch award, but Kyrie's got to get this clutch award, clutch player of the year, man.
but you know what though? Like it's not even about like the fourth quarter, like scoring. It's about when the game's close.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, and
Facts.
all 4 of those, bro. If it was Steph playing like this, they'll give him the award instantly. They'll make the award. They'd already had the trophy made right now, bro. If Steph was doing this, bro.
Yeah.
But he not gonna get no award, bro, and that sucks. But he deserves it though.
Yeah. Other thing I want to talk about tonight is, well, I guess we gotta go with the Ben thing.
We got to
Yeah,
talk
man.
about the Triple J situation.
Oh yeah. I'll talk about that after the Ben Simmons.
And there's
thing.
a report that they're planning on getting a backup center.
Oh yeah. That's another
good.
report. Shout out to Woj. Well, currently, if you guys don't know, Sean Marks is in New Zealand scouting
Smart
point guard, an
Yeah,
18-year-old
more midgets.
Yeah.
Who is he scouting?
Nah, he's a
AJ?
tall point guard. He's a tall point guard, but still,
How tall is he?
I mean, he's not even a
18-year-old
point guard.
He's like
Like,
6'6".
Yeah,
So
I
if
mean,
6'6", 6'7" kind of thing, you
Yeah.
make her. If well, I did say my favorite point guard ever for the Nets was Sean Livingston. If you could acquire somebody
Oh, yeah.
like him, I'd be cool with
You know what you say that? I was looking at film of this guy. I forgot his name is Ryan. I think his name is Ryan Rupert. He does kind of remind me of that like Sean Livingston build. You know,
What is
that
his
would
name?
be nice though. I would be down with that.
But AJ, what is his name?
Ryan Rupert. I think that's his name.
Rupert?
Ryan Rupert. Yeah.
No, Rupert.
Yeah, Rupert. Yeah.
You talking about Stewie's fucking stuffed animal, Rupert? Or what are we doing?
But
That's
anyway,
who he's scouting. That's who's he's scouting.
yeah, that's
Like,
who he's
what?
scouting. But anyway, let me read this Woj quote. Shout out to Woj for this quote. He said, hold on. The Nets are looking for a backup center. I'm sorry. Yeah, backup center. Somebody with athleticism. Who else? I'm sorry. I'm trying to read this quote. My DMs are going crazy right now.
I let me see if I can find it too. But I mean,
Yeah.
he did say. Oh wait, I think I can find the DM.
You know that?
in
I
our normal-
DM'd it. I put it in the group chat. Now I can't find it. Here it is. I got it. Okay, Woj says Nets will be looking for some athleticism, some size between now and deadline. That sounds like, yeah. Woj said it. Yeah, some
Sounds like
athleticism,
they have
some size
somebody
between
in
now and
specific in
deadline.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So that definitely screams John Collins to me.
Well,
But
it
I don't know.
could scream. It could scream Nas Reed. It
Could
could
scream Nas Reed, too.
It could
Nas
scream
Reed.
John Collins.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but if you got John Collins, he instantly becomes a starter, in my opinion.
I know that's Sean's guy. Like that's who Sean really wants. But there was another article by Nets Daily. They said that since Sean is so far away in Australia, Jeff Peterson is basically doing all the trade talks. He's his assistant GM.
Which actually makes me feel better.
About Jeff, Jeff handling the trade talks.
Does that make you feel better to know that Jeff
it does a
Peterson
little bit.
is?
it does.
But it's
does.
because you know how many time zones Australia is so far. The time zones are not gonna. So it's like how you, even though he could still get on the phone and make deals, it's still like it's a time zone. You're not close. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's still an issue. Like he should be over here with the deadline. What 9 days away?
Yeah, but he's over there scouting Rupert.
Yeah,
You know what
that's what I'm
Like,
saying. So, but that's the good news about that. And then, well, with the Ben Simmons thing, it's like a lot of people are saying trade Ben Simmons, and y'all just gotta like just forget about trading Ben. You know, it's not realistic. You know, it's too far gone right now. The contract is too crazy. It's just we would have to give up so much assets, like attach so much assets to Ben Simmons. We would make our team kind of worse if you think about it. I think because it's just not. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but to me, shout out to Scotto. Scotto was on Spaces the other night, and he was telling us about just kind of it's really unrealistic. He speaks to GMs and executives around the league, and he even told us that it's really unlikely Ben's going to get traded at the deadline.
Yeah,
Like teams are not like, oh my god, we love Ben Simmons, we're going to take him. Like you can count that number on your hand how many teams want Ben Simmons right now.
shout out to Scotto, but it's kind of like you really didn't need him to tell you that, and that's no disrespect to him, but he makes an obscene amount of money.
Yeah,
he's arguably performing worse than his Philly self. Like he's arguably at this point someone you throw in to sweeten a deal instead of being a centerpiece now. Like that's just something that's like, oh, okay, you're just selling him on his potential and ceiling. You're not selling him for what he is. And that's I think that's been the story of Ben his whole career. So I'm not surprised we really can't move him for anything substantial. So we are kind of just stuck with him, whether we want him or not. So it's a shitty.
Yeah, like and I saw shout out to Netcast, he put out a thing too about even though we're stuck with Ben Simmons and he's not, it looks really bad. Trust me, y'all, I'm frustrated too. I'm pissed off. The way he left yesterday, I was pissed off. I mean, the Pistons game, I was pissed off. I was very upset what he did during the Pistons game, like giving up. But the way we use Ben Simmons right now is just Sean got to pivot, build the offense around put as much offensive weapons around Ben Simmons so his role becomes less and less and less and less and less, like less important. Just imagine like in the playoffs bringing Ben in for 5 or 10 minutes, letting him guard Giannis, guard Embiid, guard the prime, because he's a good primary defender on certain players. We could use him. So just build the team up, and then use Ben for what he's good at.
That's what I'm saying. Can I push back on that, OAJ? Can I push back on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, remember in our DMs today, we were talking, and like the idea of like if you traded Ben, like say like this is all speculation, right? Like say somehow Minnesota was like, okay, we'll take Ben. We'll give you Naz Reid. We'll give you D'Lo. We'll give you Tayshaun Prince, right? Like we'll give you some other players.
But that would mean that they would be tanking though, bro. They'll be
but who, us or
no? I'm saying like Minnesota. If Minnesota gives up D'Lo, Nas, Prince, most of the guys.
Whether that's the case or not, I mean, remember this is a pure speculation, right? Like because I look at this at the end of the day. I look at like Ben Simmons. Like I don't think any team wants him, quite honestly. Yeah. And they really, especially the way he's playing, and I don't think they want that contract, right?
I agree.
And it's like the only thing that I've seen that is like, to me, that is worth anything has been those moments where he has guarded the Embiid, the Giannis, right? And that is a huge thing, something that we have lacked, and he's been effective. His passing, I'm not saying it's terrible, but it's not like it's been earth-shattering, because we see when he's not in there on offense, we're still highly effective without him offensively, and we still don't have a problem moving the ball when everybody's bought in. But if I'm being honest and saying if there was a potential trade and you were able to get back a few different things that the team desperately needs, like a big, somebody who can get buckets and bring the ball up without an issue, and then say you got like another wing defender, like I don't see how that doesn't make us a better team than just Ben's one specific thing he's doing well right now. Right? Like, that's the frustrating part about Ben is that, shout out to Paul, stop looking to fit for Ben. He's useless. I don't think he's completely useless, but right now he's played himself into another one-dimensional type player on this team that would come benefit, like you said, come playoff time defensively.
Because to be fair, we've seen the great Ben Simmons this season, and we've seen the bad Ben Simmons. So
I don't know that we've seen great, but I think we saw a game or two where we're like, okay, hey Ben, if you could do that every game, if you could do that consistently, then it
because we saw that he had the 20 point game, the 15 8-8 games, the Portland and the Grizzlies game. I'm saying like. We've seen the good and the bad. We can't throw away the good.
But let's also be honest, though.
Yeah.
There's things that I've seen with Ben, especially the last game, where it's not just the basketball. It's also
The mental.
the mental, the way he's approaching the game, right? Like I've seen him attack when lesser players are in,
Yeah.
but when the other players are in that are good, he doesn't seem to attack, or he just like that last game, man, he literally just stood around until he
I
went
agree.
out.
Yeah.
And it was like there's something going on there that is just like, bro, like what's up? Like, do you want to play basketball? Do you want to be out there? Because it like, is he that in his head about basketball when he gets out there? Because there's moments where he looks like he's ready to play, and then by and large he looks like he doesn't want to play. And like that whole sequence where he got swiped at the face and then left the game, and it's like everybody's like, oh, what, he got poked in the eye and he immediately walked back to the thing, but then later it's, oh, his knee was sore, and everybody's like, what?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that was bad. He looked soft. He was
something
soft.
going-
Man. Yeah.
I'm just
He
saying
looked
for
crazy. He looked crazy.
I just don't want to wait for Ben to potentially be somewhere we don't know that he's going to get back to, especially in a win now situation. And that's been, you've heard me say that for the last 2 seasons. Cash everything in. We are in a win now mode. This is what you have a Kevin Durant, a Kyrie Irving, and even a James Harden. You cash in and you go all in and do what's best for the team. And he's another one of those guys for me right now that fits that moniker of like, I don't want to wait for Ben Simmons.
No.
Like, if you have an opportunity to move this guy off the team and get pieces that will literally make you a better team without him,
Goodbye.
you do it. But
I understand that. And I'm not against that, bro. I'm not against that at all. I'm just saying the likeliness of this happening. I'm trying to tell you the likeliness of us finding a great trade of Sean Marks. You guys are asking Sean Marks to do this. Look what I'm saying. The likeliness of Sean Marks to flip Ben and get even better.
I just wonder if he's on the table, though.
Yeah, it's just
like, I wonder, like, I'd be really interested to see. Like, I was going to do a poll. Who would you trade at the deadline, Ben Simmons or Joe Harris? Right? Like a real nasty poll. Like, you should probably do that right now in the chat.
Yeah, because I'm all for it. Like, if y'all want to flip Ben for something and a team does it, I'm ready.
Do you want to flip?
Like,
Ben?
I don't see it happening because it's not the likeliness of like a
I don't.
deal
I
just don't.
As much as I want him gone, I just don't. It's hard for me also, to your point, in the same breath, think that there's a team willing to take him, and if they are willing to take him, what's it going to cost us to get rid of him?
Yeah, that's why I said Sean has got to focus on building. If you get Naz Reid and get John Collins, trust me, y'all will forget about y'all won't worry about Ben Simmons that much.
Yeah,
a little bit less. That's what I'm saying. All you
Sean
can do right now is just build around.
But like, is it too soon to say like? Well, no, I don't think it is, because we've seen it multiple times when Ben is not on the court offensively.
The spacing's better.
It's better, and then the only time you notice it is when, when we're lacking some defense, right? That's the only time you're like, hey, Ben. But then again, like even the coaching staff is like, no, you're not in the last 6-7 minutes of the game.
Yeah, he gets benched in the floor. It's crazy.
Like, that's bad.
Yeah,
that speaks volumes. I don't care what anybody says. They can say, hey, we believe in Ben Simmons, but when you're not playing him the last 6-7 minutes of a game, that speaks more volumes than whatever you say.
Yeah. It's a tricky situation. It's a tough situation. Like the Nets put themselves in. Like, it's like you're trapped, kind of. But it's like, I don't know. If he flips off, if Sean can flip men and make us better,
bro,
he needs to. You sign it. He might need an extension. He might need an extension after that, because I don't.
Shout out to Haley.
You know what I'm saying? I don't
AJ, are you seeing this comment? Haley, I was at the
But
game today. Ben looking soft.
He's looking soft on the bench too. I'm crying. Yeah, it was bad, bro. Like I said, it's just so frustrating, because it's like you see the good times with Ben, and you see like the bad times, and the bad times are. Really
I don't know,
bad,
dude.
Bro.
The good times, it's getting
Not
so bad.
good?
I don't remember the good times, dude.
Nah, AJ, don't trip out, because Saint he don't know basketball. He doesn't understand that we need that 2, 6, and 6 every night. We need that 2, 6, and 6 every night.
We need that 2 points and 6.
Yeah, Ben's doing the dirty work. Right. He's doing the dirty work. You know,
he's the dirty work.
He's a champ.
I mean, I'm sure if you're in the chat, like, because Brendan just asked that question, he goes, "Saint, what are the chances Ben can turn it around?" Like,
0.
If you ask me to put a percentage rate on that, dude, I'm saying like 32%. Like, I don't know.
It's hard to
dude.
believe in Ben
like
Simmons, bro. It's
He's
hard.
been like this
It
his
is
whole
hard.
career.
Yeah, it's hard to
Well,
believe in
no,
Ben,
he
man.
hasn't been just like this, but it's gotten worse.
Well, he hasn't been this
The
bad.
back-
But I
He
think
hasn't- he-
The back doesn't help.
you
but
combine it with
there's
the injury.
Clearly,
Yeah.
something has happened with him. And I'm not even talking the outside, because there is an aspect of Ben mentally that had nothing to do with basketball that was difficult for him when he was with Philly. You either know or you don't. And if you don't know, I implore you to go kind of look up and see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to put that out there. But there's something clearly has happened to his mental when in the game, whether it's fear, it's anxiety. Like, I don't know, like, but something, he's thinking way too much, because there's things that he does that make zero sense at times, that only, like, to me, think he's in his head way too much. Like, whether, I should pass more, or fuck, if I make this layup and I get fouled, then I'm going to have to get, like, there's got to be something going on with him, because the last few games is looked like he's wanted to not be there. The technical game, it looked like he was waiting for that, was ready to walk off the court. The eye swipe, it looked like he was already like, I'm done. Like, it looked, something's going on with dude.
Yeah. I'll move away from the Ben thing. Like I said, it's just like a thing we're gonna have to deal with. And like, we'll just got to wait till February 9th, see which Sean Marks does. See if he can trade him or see if he keeps him and goes around.
I mean, with Ben, he's owed $113 million over the next 3 years. So as
Yeah,
was saying,
that's
it just he's
tough,
not getting
man.
traded. Like, no team wants
Well,
that.
if he's getting traded, bro, there's going to be picks involved. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
throwing
we're gonna have to give up everything, bro. Like all our picks.
Would you do Westbrook for Ben right now?
Oh my God.
No.
Let's not even go.
That's a nightmare.
Let's go back to do the Patty. Okay, I have to amend. Remember our Patty for Ben Simmons conversation?
Oh yeah.
I have to amend that and say yes. I wouldn't trade Patty for Ben.
Yo, that's crazy.
I've been duped. I thought I was getting a different Ben. I didn't think I was getting lights out Ben, but I thought I was getting a much better Ben when we were having that argument.
We all did.
God. All right, well, let's talk about the JJJ thing. Since this will be the last thing. The JJJ.
Yes. Okay.
The
I got
conspiracy.
the tweets for it too. So yeah.
Remind me what the JJJ thing is, because I've been working.
Okay, so I'd say around this morning there was a post on the RNBA Reddit. The RNBA Reddit is basically like one gigantic ass blog where pretty much anybody from all NBA fans come together to just talk ball, right? So someone came up with a post that suspected the scorekeeper of the Memphis Grizzlies inflating Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defensive stats. There's a tweet here. Jackson is seeing 89% increase in blocks and 120% increase in steals at home, despite playing more road games this season. He has 88 blocks plus steals in 16 home games. That's 45 in 17 away games. 8 out of 9 of his 6 plus steals plus blocks games were recorded in Memphis. On average, 5.5 steals plus blocks per game at home, compared to a still impressive 2.81 on the road. This is a 96% boost in performance based on location alone. This disparity demands closer inspection and raises legitimate questions as to what exactly can be happening here. So, and then
there is something to add to that. I do remember this, and I did see somebody, like a legit person, tweet out, and they said they viewed the video for the home, and they said there was maybe about 3 or 4 actual things that shouldn't counted towards the thing. So the disparity of, like, I'm just telling you what I saw.
Yeah, no.
Somebody did a video aspect that said, hey, there was only really like 3 or 4 that you could potentially take off that stat line at home.
Yeah, and someone went on Basketball Reference. So his total steals and blocks for the season at home is 22 steals and 66 blocks. His totals for the road is 12 steals and 37 blocks. That's damn near double just being on home alone. And I get home advantage is a thing, but for
some players do play better at home. They do. Some do.
But a damn near 50 increase all around.
I mean, the only way to beat this is somebody literally go through every game and go to every stat logged at a time and look at, like, this sounds like a job for Cypher, quite honestly.
Nah. But here's the thing. Someone released a thread of all the clips that he got credited for that weren't true. Like, for instance, Blandon Clark's blocked somebody, and Triple J was the help defender. He got awarded with the block.
Yeah.
Some
shiesty stuff going on, man.
Tyus Jones got a steal on somebody. Triple J was near it. He got awarded with it. So,
bro, there's some shiesty stuff happening with that, bro.
Now that is different. That is different.
Shit. Some shiesty shit. So shiesty, the NBA took down the live tracking for Defensive Player of the Year.
Wow, they did.
I have to find the tweet, but it was a thing. It was temporarily. I don't know if they put it back
number one position.
Wow, that's crazy, bro. Damn. And going back to the JJJ thing, it's like I was even during the season when Clark's had an outstanding season, and I'm looking at it, they're like, oh, JJJ averages 3.3 blocks. I'm like, bro, I watch JJJ sometimes, and he don't look like the block machine that Clark's is. So I'm like, how is his blocks per game so high? 3.3 or whatever it is. I'm like, I know he blocks shots, but it just doesn't. He don't look like the Defensive Player of the Year, type of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And this isn't taken away from Triple J. Once again, he's really is a good defender. Mind you, like, there is a stat where they were in like the 99th percentile with him off.
Yeah.
So his impact is noted, but the fact that the stats home versus away, the fact that it's damn near a 50% increase in your total defensive stats versus when you're away, it's like you have to look into that. What the hell is going on? Like, home court advantage is not that big. Not that damn big. If that's the case, Joe Harris would average 60 every time he hits the Barclays Center. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, he would shoot like 80% from three. Like, that's the level of like what the fuck is going on with those stats. But
it's just
I don't know. It's funny to think. It's funny to think about. But the Grizzlies are 20-3 at home. Like, maybe Jaren Jackson. Look, I don't know. Like, we don't know him, but maybe travel just really affects him. Because remember, they have to go on a plane, they have to travel like long distances. So maybe he's just one of those guys that gets like travel sick and it like affects him. Because I don't think, because there's no way that it's this easy to rig stats. I'm sure the NBA must be like confirming. Like, there's no way.
No, because they do. Like, the NBA said, like, they have basically every game, they have some people in Secaucus that track the stats. They have the guys behind the scoreboard that track the stats, and then the guys in Secaucus are like watching clips and kind of reviewing it, I guess. So I guess that's their system, reviewing stats.
Yeah, I agree with Cypher, but the difference is so obnoxious. It's so abnormally unrealistic. Like, yeah, there's certain people that just perform well at home, but like the 89% increase, 120% increase, like it's very clear like someone fucked up in jotting down those stats. And even if they did do it with purposeful intentions, they didn't do it realistically. Like, why the fuck is he averaging 4 blocks at home, but like 2.8 at away? Like, there's really no
to me, like I said, every time I see JJJ play, I don't see, like, he don't got the timing Clark's got. Like, he can block, but he don't got the timing like that. Well, to me, I don't know. Maybe I just don't watch every Memphis Grizzlies game. Whenever I see JJJ, it's like he's not no, like, block machine. You can't get. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Clark's.
He's a defensive beast, but not what we have seen from Clark's this year.
Yeah, it's a really big difference. That's why I'm like, what's going on? But
the Grizzlies are one of the worst road teams in the NBA. They're 11-15. So, like, maybe this is why
they do suck on the road.
Yeah. I don't know, because it is funny to like think about, like, because I know nobody likes the Grizzlies because they're really arrogant, and it is funny to think, oh, they're rigging stats, but I don't know, maybe it is crazy to look at it, but it could just be, as I said, just Jaren Jackson just doesn't travel well. That's the most simple answer I could really say.
All I know is Clark's odds went up for Defensive Player of the Year, so that's all we really care about. So as long as Clark gets his recognition and gets a chance to win this award. Is
He definitely got his recognition tonight, bro. He had a wonderful fucking game tonight.
yeah. Because now I think this might scare media from voting for JJJ now. They're like, wait a minute, what's this conspiracy stuff going on? Because there was a huge jump. I forgot who tweeted it out, but it was a huge jump in odds. It was like JJJ was number 1 in DPOY for like a minute. Now odds just went to Clax now. So
Yeah.
you know.
If NBA takes a whole like voting tracking down, like something's wrong. Something's
That's what
definitely.
I'm saying. They took a whole track down. Like, so
Yeah, they would have came and was like, yeah, nah, this is just fake. Like, this is legit. No,
Definitely
they turned that shit.
investigating that.
Something's going on. Something's going on.
Yeah, they're investigating it. It's gonna be one of those NBA conspiracies. Just like that ref. Remember that ref that was like I think he was getting paid or he was betting on games, something like that.
Donahue,
yeah.
Donahue.
That conspiracy. Well, yeah, y'all. Appreciate you guys for joining us, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Again, we own the Knicks. We smoking on that Knicks pack tonight. Oh man, this feels so good though.
The
Like
Knicks pack, like it getting kind of old. Like it don't hit the same because it's just we always get it. You know, like it's just I don't know. Am I
it's like you would think they would be like down Katie, down Ben, down all these guys that are not playing.
They'll take
coming off
advantage.
a bad loss with the Pistons. You would think the Knicks would, try to get a win on this. This would be like Chubb said. This would be the perfect time.
You would think that they would be good.
It was the perfect recipe for them to like finally get it. Like Jalen Brunson looking for redemption. He never showed out the last meeting. Like Julius Randle's been on fire. Like Emmanuel Quickly has been on fire. Like this was the matchup to finally do it, and they can't even do that right. Can't even do that right.
Facts. All right, man. I got nothing else for y'all. When's our next game? Who we play next?
The
Monday we
Lakers.
got the Lakers.
The Lakers on Monday?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh damn, another tough game.
No, that is a tough game. I think
that's a
we got
tough
80
game.
back too.
Yeah, they got 80 back. I don't know. I mean, 80 versus Clax, and then you got the Bron Kyrie.
80, 80 not going. Do they have another game before us? No.
No,
they're
we're
playing the
on the
Celtics right
first.
now.
We're on the first half of their back to back. They have Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
80 might fucking clip his foot getting off the plane, and then he might not play. So you can't never
You can't never
count nothing.
Can we really talk about it? 80 sprained his ankle midair. How do you do that? and I ain't talking about when he went down like recently, like what actually sent him out. He sprained his ankle midair,
bro.
How do you do that?
Bron
gotta
leave, bro. That's when it's just like, bro, Bron, you gotta leave, bro. This man, no resistance, bro. The man sprained his ankle mid. I've never seen nothing like it.
How much force? Like it's not even like there's much force. The wind was that much force between that dude's leg and your ankle.
Bro,
yeah, that was crazy, bro. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, how is he out for a month after that joint? I couldn't believe it. It's gonna be a tough game versus the Lakers. We just gotta lock in. I mean, see, that's what I was saying before. I was like, if our role players can shoot like this, anything's possible. But that's the tough.
Our role players are better, so I mean, we have a good chance.
They can shoot like this, like it did tonight. Joe Harris giving you crazy amount of threes. Yuta giving you threes.
How would y'all feel
if Sumner was hitting threes?
How would y'all feel if we beat them Lakers?
Oh.
Doesn't really move me because they suck. Like,
but if LeBron and AD is on the court, that means
I love it.
They suck as a team.
Obviously, that
I hate Lakers fans,
but
they suck as a team. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, as a team, they suck. Like, obviously, we beat Bron, we beat AD, but it's like, and it moves us up in the standings, hopefully. But realistically, that doesn't really say much when it's a team that's literally out of a play-in spot in the West.
That's so tough.
I love it because I hate Lakers fans, so I'll be hyped.
That's so toxic. Bro. That's so toxic.
I hate Lakers fans, so I need that win on. I need to talk my smack to Lakers fans, so I need that win on Monday.
Yeah, we need that win on Monday, y'all. We need we 3-6 without KD, 4-6,
3-6,
3-6.
No, but I'm saying soon to be 4.
He's manifesting 4-6. Yeah, 4-6.
Manifestation soon to be 4-6.
Soon to be 4-6.
Based off the timeline they gave, 2 weeks, KD should be back the day of the trade deadline.
Damn.
What is that?
Day of the trade deadline? That's
February.
crazy.
What is that?
February 9th.
And that's about like after this week, probably next week. Yeah.
February 9th.
Damn.
About 5 games.
Yeah.
Man, Katie needs to stop playing, bro. His ankle do not hurt that bad, bro. Come stop playing, bro.
It's
Come
not
back.
his ankle. What is it? It's his knee. It's his knee.
It's a knee.
Yeah, you get MCL sprain, bro.
So good, man.
Oh, the MCL is in your knee.
Kyrie's just proven to the world.
See,
that
I
he
ain't
can
even
be
know that.
A number one option. Every
KD,
single
bro.
game, he's proven.
So y'all don't think Katie can just put some ice on that and just come out and start hooping?
Nah, right now they said he started doing running this week. Like he's running.
There it is. There it is right there. Come back. You good? Come on
There
back,
it is
baby.
right
There
there.
it is.
I think
That's-
running is much different from shifting your weight in basketball,
it
running
might-
and stopping, doing all
it
that.
might be. It might be. Katie,
He's
come
gonna
back.
like later this week. He'll probably start doing some like maybe basketball shooting and stuff. Wait, shout out to Jonathan. He said, "I love Jericho Sims." Why? Are you a
Who
Knicks
the
fan?
fuck is who's that? Oh, JL.
He's on the Knicks.
The licks.
Jonathan Fit, you a Knicks fan, bro? You're a Knicks fan, man. That's
Oh wait,
sad.
is that Jay from Miami?
Is that Jay from Miami? Is that J Rod?
Not J Rod, but the
Jay
Miami
Jay in the
fan-
gym? Jay from the gym?
Yeah, Jay from the gym is crazy.
Jay from
Knicks
the gym.
fan. Being a Knicks fan is just that just got to be a sad life. Y'all seen what Stephen A. said with Jalen Rose?
Oh yeah.
Or he was salty as hell, bro.
He
I
was
would be too.
Being a Knicks fan is hilarious. And then
Bro,
Dolan
they-
comes out and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be here for a long time. It's a family business." And
Oh my
every Knicks fan was
God.
like, "God damn, you know, Dolan curse, the Dolan
Oh,
curse."
that's so crazy.
He's
No,
like, even when I die, it's gonna still be in my family.
that's so fucked
The
up.
Dolan
bro.
curse is not gonna go away.
Bro, that man is evil, bro.
Bro, the
That's
Knicks are never gonna win.
that
They'll
is
win.
never. That's not what anybody wants to hear, bro. Like especially
Knicks
after
fans
a
don't wanna
loss
hear
like
that, bro.
this. That's I feel bad for Knicks fans purely off that. He said, "What did he say? Say it again."
He was like, "Oh, I'm not going nowhere. You know, this team is in my family. He's like the family business. It's gonna stay alive."
Shit.
It's
Does
a
Dolan
family
have any
business.
kids?
No, the
Crazy.
family business.
Yeah, he has kids.
No.
Yeah, I think he has grandkids. So
Hey,
it's
but
over for the Knicks.
but
Nation. Y'all gonna be terrible.
couldn't be us.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
It happened to me, but it's okay though.
Yeah.
Y'all could have had Katie and Kyrie, but that's a long time ago. We should get y'all should get over that. Y'all should get over that. I think a lot of the Knicks fans are still upset, about that. What was it, May of 2019 or June of 2019? Y'all, it's okay. What's their record right now?
The Knicks,
Yeah, what's their
Like 25, 27, 24.
27 and
like
24.
6 seed, right?
I think they're a 7th seed right now.
Like 7
Yeah,
seed.
they're in the plan. They're in the plan.
You're in the plane, okay, yeah, and y'all are gonna be there every year. So shout out to y'all, and trash.
He's a trash. All right, we'll be back on Monday, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Hit that like button for us again. Follow us on Instagram. That's Kingdom 711. TikTok. Rage is going crazy on TikTok. Next Kingdom on TikTok. SoundCloud. DJ Chubbs on SoundCloud. Next Kingdom Radio. Type on Next Kingdom Radio on SoundCloud.
AJ, you mind if I just do a last words because I feel like this needs to be said, and,
Oh, yeah,
and,
go
I'm, and this ain't like a joke. Like this is like real shit. Because what I'm about to say is probably like the realest shit I'll probably do on this channel. That's like outside of basketball.
Realest shit you ever wrote.
Yeah, but this needs to
tough.
be said because while yes, Saint and Rage, we are a podcast that has 3 black co-hosts, and this needs to be said. If you have been living under a rock, Tyre Nichols is another fallen brother to police brutality. And what makes this case very is it was 4 black cops that, let's not even hide it, brutally beaten and tortured him on camera. Let's not even sugarcoat it. They literally took turns beating his ass like they did Rodney King. Like literally, it was compared to Rodney King. And while yes, these 4 police officers got convicted immediately, they were terminated from their precinct, meaning the cops basically disowned them. They're not cops anymore. They don't have any form of report. The union dropped their ass like a hot potato. They're basically pedestrians running in jail now. And while I'm glad that happened, we all know if they were white, they would be given paid leave.
Yeah.
We all know they'd be given a desk job. They would be at home with their family, like the cop that killed George Floyd before he got convicted, like the cops that killed Eric Gardner, like the cops that killed Taylor, and once again, I'm saying they don't deserve it. They do deserve it. But it's kind of crazy. 4 black cops got in jail quicker than any other white cop that has committed any form of injustice in this country. Black cops get no form of immunity. And why I say this, when it comes to police in America, they have a mentality that once you get that bad, it doesn't matter what color you are. It is you versus the world. It's us versus them. That is the mentality cops have. That in armies, the army in the world. What's dangerous about this mentality? It gives you a holier than thou attitude. It gives you an attitude that thinks you can do anything and get away with it. That's what the cop that killed Breonna Taylor, Castile, Garner, that's what those cops had with those attitude. And that's what the attitude those 4 cops had. And what's unfortunate with cops, they were given a false reality. Because no matter if you're a doctor, it don't matter if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're a cop. It doesn't matter what union you're under. If you're light skinned like me, you're brown skinned like Julian, and you're dark skinned like AJ, when shit hits the fan, you are just another statistic. And you are just another stereotype.
Yeah.
And those 4 cops played them fucking selves. Because they were given the white man's dream, and I'm soon to find out they were giving the black man consequences. So rest in peace to Tyre Nichols. It's unfortunate his clock was ticked so early, and it's unfortunate the way he went out. But unfortunately, it just won't end. But I hope with this, we don't try to destroy the streets. We don't try to wreak havoc, but we at least make an attempt to actually make a change. That's my last word.
Julian, want to add anything on
that? I agree with everything that he said, and yeah, bro. When I see that, it's just a messed up situation. I don't even.
It broke my heart, bro.
Yeah. Like it's hard to even like have like words on that and stuff like that. But I agree with what he said, and I'm glad that he said it. But it sounded like Saint wanted to say something, so I'm gonna let Saint.
No, well, I was gonna hop on because Spaces ended, and I know I told people to come over here, and I told, do you want to hear from Jay? Because Jay said he'd be right here. I just put it in the. You want to hear from Jay before we end this? Or are you looking to get out right now, AJ? Hello?
Yeah, I think got out.
He might have. I honestly, from what I see there, I didn't know what you guys were talking about. So if I came in on a rough subject, that is, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I saw that video and I was completely, utterly disgusted in that whole situation.
Nah, and the main point I was trying to get to, the mentality cops kind of have, that holier than thou mentality, we can do whatever. That was a white man's dream sold to these apparently 5 black cops. Sorry, I got that incorrect. And they thought they could get away with what they did. They thought they could get the same the same cape most cops when they do these police brutalities get. That's not true. And it's sad this situation will never change. It's not new that all black cops can also hurt black people in the sense the non-black cops would. It's nothing new. It's been a while since something like this has been reported. But it's unfortunate from all aspects. And honestly, I hope all 5 of them. I hope they get life. Like real shit. I hope they get life. It's unfortunate they got the punishment way quicker than a white cop, but I hope all 5 of them get life. And that's kind of where I'm at.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case.
That's set in stone.
That second aspect of the video, because I didn't see that until I don't know if it was last night, the other night I saw it, where it just did complete disregard for that guy. And just the high-fiving, that shit that's what
that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Broke
just
my heart, man. Couldn't believe it.
The same fucking mentality they were given because they thought.
Chubb, you're breaking up a little bit.
You breaking up, bro.
You're my robot or is Chubbs a robot?
No, it's just Chubbs.
I'm a robot on us.
Chubbs is super.
You sounded straight earlier.
Oh,
yeah.
He didn't come back.
Got dial-up internet. Yo, can I say? I'm glad I came in on this part because I ain't really said anything about that. And God bless y'all watching the video. I'm going to speak for a lot of black people when I say this though. We're not. People think that black people, a lot of black people are just anti-white cops killing black people. No, man, we anti-cops killing people. It ain't just black people, it's people.
Facts.
What they did in Memphis is something. Look, unfortunately, I'll say it like this, but thank God there are recordings for things that we've been telling y'all has been going on for all of our lifetimes. They just ain't been recorded, and people believe that cops are honest and would tell you the truth, whereas now recordings tell you the truth. Which is why a number of these places, you see the video and they're like, well, we took the cop they're on paid leave while we do an investigation. What do you have to investigate? We actually see what happened. And we want the last thing I'll say about it is, every cop that I know, well, last 2 things I'll say. Every cop that I know of, you take an oath to protect and serve. Were you protecting and serving him when you killed him? It doesn't appear that way. You weren't protecting and serving. And the last thing I'll say is, and I don't care that this is recorded, this is the way I feel, whether I'm on stream, whether I'm in person. I'm a person who believes that all cops are bad. And I'm going to give a clarifying on why I feel that way.
I'm with you on that, baby.
And here's what's going to change my mind about feeling that all cops are bad. When I see a cop arrest another cop, just witnessed him doing a crime, killing someone is a crime. Until I see another cop arrest a cop for killing someone unjustly, I continue to think that all of them are bad. I've never in my life seen a cop arrest another cop who's just committed a crime. If you see someone kill someone unjustly, they've committed a crime, whether they're on duty or not. Arrest that person. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And until I see that happen, I'm going to think they're all bad. Because you're co-signing on what they do. Cops won't speak out against other cops. Cops won't arrest other cops. You're co-signing on this bad behavior. Y'all need accountability amongst each other, as well as protecting and serving people, not killing people.
Let me piggyback off what you're saying, Jay. The thing that it's sad that it has to get to this point, but I'm grateful for the technology and the aspect of like having more and more, it's getting to the point where that everything is being recorded, not only body cam, but that whatever that view was from like a light post, that it gives you a look into how a majority of police officers act when dealing with a situation, right? Like that's what scares me and bothers me the most, is that you're celebrating while a man is laying on the ground for whatever the issue or the reason it even got to that. It's like your reaction is to high five, be happy. Yeah, we just did this, right? Like, and I'm not even talking about color of cop, not whatever, black, white, purple, green cop. Like it's the mentality that I don't like. That is added with that. And it's like now you're getting to, and people have been saying this for a very long time, right? Like they've been talking about this attitude, this mentality that people carry like that in the police force. And now you're actually getting video footage. So you can't sit there and say, oh, it doesn't exist or our investigation show. No, it's right there.
Is Senile Saint talking about glizzies?
No, you're coming in on an important conversation.
Yeah,
This would not be the
important.
time to be Brandon. Just be normal Brandon. So it literally is right there in front of you. So as sad as it is, I'm also glad that that stuff exists because it exposes it even more, and you can't hide. You can't pretend.
You gotta thank the Lord for body cam shit, bro. You got to.
You do, but this is this is the real fucked up part of it all. And this is what I was trying to get across. My mic wasn't fucking up. I'm glad they're going to jail, but compared to the other crimes, they never got paid leave. They never got the shield these other guys got, and brutally massacred other people. Like, don't you think it's fucking funny? The fucking police department didn't make a statement yet. They just cut them off. Like, you literally terminated them. Meanwhile, literally every single time the police situation, there was always a statement say, "Look, the person that was or
You're cutting out real bad, Chubbs.
oh my, Mike don't want to see me. Mike don't want to see me fucking speak right now."
But I hear what you're saying. If I'm hearing you correctly, you're talking about
how they terminated.
Yeah, like they're doing the what looks good thing, but they're missing the other stuff as well. Like they only seem to act when something bad happens, but turn a blind eye when all this other shit is going on.
Or the main point I'm trying to get to is it had to take 5 black cops beating up an innocent black man from the looks of the whole situation for him to immediately get the justly fucking consequences. Meanwhile, literally every other situation, they get paid leave. They get suspended with pay, or they get a desk job. Like, it's a fucked up part of the situation. Like, I'm not mad they got the punishment they deserve. Like, fuck them. But it speaks to a bigger fucking picture here.
Did you slap your mic?
No.
Because that shit instantly tightened up.
It instantly tightened. But I felt like, because I haven't really seen anybody talk about this with that tape. You literally see every situation a cop literally gets caped for, but the one time in how long we see a black cop assault a black man, they immediately get terminated.
Yeah.
Like, cut off from all aspects, no nothing. Like, it's unfortunate it had to be black cops for that to finally be issued. But it's a fucked up.
The only problem with that, no one's screaming "Blue Lives Matter" right now.
we have seen no justification from the Fox. We see no justification for their actions from any right wing Twitter. It's just these guys are criminals. Just lock them up. We've seen no caping, no nothing. Like, it had to take to 5 black cops for this to happen.
Yeah.
George Zimmerman is walking around free. But Like, that's just the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make.
The good news is that now, because this happened, there's precedent. Meaning that, unfortunately, the next time this happens, which it inevitably will, it means that they could use this to justify, a faster sentencing.
Yeah.
For who?
Yeah, that I agree, Scythe, but unfortunately, we live in a fucked up world, and we know it's gonna happen again. When it comes down, another cop kills or assaults another person, and if it's a white cop, he's gonna be caped for until he eventually gets that trial, where literally his sentencing is so fucking minimal, it's damn near a slap in the face to the family of the lost one. So, like, I agree, Scythe. Yeah, we finally have a situation where they finally got the justified punishment, but it had to take for black cops to be involved.
Yes,
from
it's the wrong
hey,
group.
oh my God, we gotta,
The change, there may be moments of change that you see, but it's happening way too slowly. It's like you just said, waiting for moments of specific situations that it's like, nah, bro. Like, there's enough evidence there and proof that people are not just saying shit, making shit up. Like, it's there now in front of you, stereo, live in color, but you still want to go, yeah, but he should have done this. Yeah, but it's like, come on. But that's the unfortunate aspect of it, is that it's going to move at a snail's pace, and it's ridiculous.
I want to disagree though with what Saif said about there now being a precedent. There's not a precedent from the standpoint of how they police in Memphis has absolutely nothing to do with how they police in Brooklyn, which has nothing to do with how they police in LA, which has nothing to do with how they police in Chicago, and so on and so forth. They don't have one code that they follow. And so just because it may set a precedent in Memphis, but it don't set a precedent for anywhere else. All of these are dealt with as isolated incidents, and they'll deal with the police like it's an isolated incident, which I don't agree with, but they'll come up with their own jurisdiction for how to handle the police depending on where it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I was preferring to legal precedent, the way lawyers handle it.
I wish it was that easy.
But even there, like out here in California, you have a lot more DAs that are going the route that the people would want. But then again, to Jay's point, you get just like, depending on where you're at in the country, like you get a completely different DA that's not going to be pro people or pro the city. They're going to be pro cop. Like, that's the other aspect that's frustrating about this, is that yet you may have departments that may be moving away and moving towards a way of policing that you may want, but also by and large, the justice system is completely different compared to where you are, and then whoever the DA is of that town. And unfortunately, there's not a unifying change across the board.
Yeah. Bringing up Chubbs brought up George, and he was actually a beneficiary off of being in a state, Florida, who where the gun laws are extremely loose. We probably have the loosest laws probably here in Texas. So yeah, bro, every territory just has different rules, and it sucks.
Wait, you in Texas now?
No, I'm in Florida.
Yeah,
but I was saying Florida.
Bro, you just said here in Texas.
Yeah, like here in Florida and Texas.
Yeah, I said Florida and Texas. If not, I misspoke. But yeah, I was talking about Florida and Texas.
You damn sure said here in Texas. That's what I was
Nah.
No, you did. Yeah, I wait for a minute there. I was gonna be like,
I said that. I said I was in Texas.
Like, your internet may be in Florida, but you in Texas.
I'll say about a quick piece, and then we can wrap this up. It's really sickening, that another black man is dead from the cops. And as a black man myself, like I said, growing up, it's like I don't trust any cops. You know, I don't trust
Thank you.
police, any police officer that pulls me over. I'm scared for my life, my friends' lives. I've seen my friends get arrested on bad terms, just because of their color, or just because the cop pulls you over and he assumes that you have weed in the car, or you assume you have coke in the car, just because of your skin. And like Jay was saying before, these police officers are not held accountable. They're killing people, and they're not held accountable. And it's just, I find it funny, not funny, but I know I'm against what these black cops did to the young man, but it's like all the white police officers that killed the black man before, the adjustment wasn't this fast. You know what I'm saying?
They
would
got
get
paid leave. They were able to
paid
take
leave.
family.
So it's like it's just frustrating because I want justice for everybody. I want blacks, yellow, any color you are. I want justice for everybody. But it's like,
Who's yellow?
No, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like any color, I want justice for every color. But it's just, I want these police officers to be held accountable because they're killing people. It's against the law, and they get away with it time and time again. They get away with killing people, and
They got that pass. They got that card.
Yeah, and
It's
what's
that
even
dumbass
more
hustler
sick, these
development
officers
done.
are not telling. They're as soon as you ask another cop on the force, "Oh, did you kill this guy?" It's quiet. You're supposed to be the holy guy, not the holy, but you're supposed to uphold the law. But you guys are not telling. You're not. It's just frustrating. You guys are not saying the truth. You're lying for your fellow cops just because he got a badge on his shirt. So you're gonna lie and say I didn't see anything when he killed somebody right in front of you, and you're lying for them.
Yeah.
You're not saying, you're not testifying because of this blue line of blue cop stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they played themselves big time, thinking they could get the same treatment as if they were white. No,
Yeah.
there was a reason they were high fiving in that video. There was a reason
Yeah.
they were laughing because they thought they were gonna get off scot free because they were sold that bullshit. Oh, we're under the same badge. It's us versus the world.
It's just sick because like you think just because they got that badge on them, and this is either white cops and black cops, both of them, because I've seen black cops wild out too. I've seen black cops act a different way just because they got a badge on their shirt. They think they're higher than you. They think they're above you. And they could be the same color as you, and they still think they're above you.
That's really the worst part, bro. It's like five of them. Like how old was he?
Tyre Nichols. I gotta look it up.
I think he was 29.
29.
That's about to be 30,
bro. The fact that there's 5 people who operate like that, like damn, bro. The man look like you. Like the fact that there's 5 of y'all who are
Thank
cool
you.
with that, like even if it was just even if it was just one. Like that's still messed up. But the fact that there was 5 people grouped up who were all on the same page, who were all cool with that. Like he's younger than you, like the man looked like you. Y'all come from the same place, and like y'all just had no issues, bro. Like that's
I promise you, those 5 cops, you take off that badge and you put them in Milwaukee or another place, and they're driving, they get pulled over. By the white cop, the white cops treating you different. If you don't show that badge
in Memphis.
Even
in Memphis. You ain't got to put them in Milwaukee. In Memphis, it'll happen to them.
That's the man. This is just a fucked up situation.
Because it's like facts.
Brandon, did you want to hop in here and say anything?
It's a touchy situation. For me personally, obviously, I saw that video last night. I didn't even really want to talk basketball or anything. It just proves how fucked up this country is, because no matter what we did in 2020, marching, donating, bringing awareness to it, it really does not matter. This country, the people who were sworn to protect and serve us, they don't. They just want to continue taking away innocent lives that shouldn't be taken away. And it's sad. Because I don't even know what to do anymore. How do you change this? You can't.
You can't really, to be honest.
Really, can't. I would love to see the justification.
You can't.
They're gonna try. They're gonna.
I was on those streets in 2020 getting pepper sprayed. Like, I was there.
Yeah.
You kind of
some of the
ridiculous.
comments. We'll see what the people are saying. Shout out to Dante. He said, I remember getting stopped by a white police detective while walking home from school. He falsely assumed I was a criminal. Shaking my head. Oh, man. Just see all these comments. Somebody said, black cops told me ain't black no more. He said he's blue proudly.
Oh no, that's
Wow.
crazy. I'm not black. I'm blue is really crazy.
Yeah, because bro, I'm telling you, it's your own people. Your own people. As soon as they get that badge, it's like they don't. It's like they think they're higher than you. You know what I'm saying? They think below you. They think you're nothing just because they have that badge on them. They can do anything.
They can't do anything. That's the fucked up part.
Yeah, and I'm saying there's got to be some law, some kind of legislation that holds cops accountable. You know, there can't be no, even with regular crimes. If a cop commits a crime, they always get passes because of their cop. That can't be no more, bro.
I'm still stuck on I'm not black, I'm blue. Like damn Alonzo, that's crazy.
That's disgusting.
It's just a job that attracts the wrong kind of people. You know, I knew a guy who wanted to be a cop, and I knew this guy for many years. He did not have the temperament to be a cop.
Yeah,
he did not have the personality. I knew like this guy should not be an officer, and thank goodness he got a knee injury, which prevented him from doing it. So it's just the job that attracts the wrong kind of person.
It also is one of those jobs where that people get into, and they may go in with best intentions, because I've seen it. And it's like people will go with the best intentions, and they succumb. I can't say the word. Succumb to peer pressure or the way of how it is done in there. I've known people that were some of the most mellowest, greatest people became cops, and they become a completely different person. And their whole intention of going in was, hey, I do want to help people. I do want to be part of this. And then they became a completely different person. Their whole view changed. Their political view changed. How they viewed people changed. Everything became an us versus them. It unfortunately is one of those things that is
saying, you get influence when you get into a certain job.
Of course, that's the whole point I'm making.
You think like cops, they have such weird long schedules that they're probably around their fellow co-workers more than they are their family.
And I will tell you this, because I've said it a million times. Part of my job is I work with incarcerated mentally ill people. I work with the Department of Mental Health, but I am around that presence, that security. I am around those people at times. And I can tell you from seeing it with experience that there's a level of this that is so deep and scary that, like when you asked before, like, how do you change it? It's so inbred in American culture, from the way we treat guns, from the way we treat the justice system, the history going far back. Like, this conversation could go so far back into history.
Yeah, because they weren't
systematic of like into slavery.
Slave.
Yeah, like you had, like, I've tried to explain to people, because then people will come back and be like, oh, well, look at all these criminals, this and that. And it's like, I even try to go from a thing. It's like, if you know your history and you know the history of this country, and especially when it comes to slavery, and when slavery was ending and people were leaving the areas in the South, a lot of them like came to California. A lot of them came to Southern California and put up and were in communities. But what do you think followed them then now became the police of those areas? Was the same idiots down in the South that were part of the slave ownership. Their descendants or people who were closely related to it are now moving to the areas and then becoming the police of those areas. So like, there are so many aspects of this that are psychologically and systematic, rooted in the system of not only police departments, but also the social justice system, like our justice system, that at times may show progress, but by and large, the system in itself is sick at its core. Like, and I don't know how you, to that point, I'll say this, I just don't know that's the biggest frustration, because there's an aspect of it that at its soul and its core is sick and corrupted. And how do you change that?
Like
And that can be the most debilitating thing to see, is because you'll see progress here, but then you'll see 25 steps backwards over here.
Yep. Like, for an example, Saint, to piggyback that, because like I know a lot about Denver, Colorado, because my parents recently moved in the area. Like, for a long time, the KKK ran the police department in Denver, Colorado.
Yes,
They ran it.
I saw a video about that like last week.
Yes, they literally ran the police department in Denver, Colorado for the longest time, and there's still speculations that they still have a huge influence
Presence.
in that police department.
They used to run a lot of shit.
Let me read this. There's one comment here I want to disagree with. We're not saying cops arrest each other. Since Michael Morton said, "Don't expect cops to arrest each other, just like you don't expect citizens to arrest." It's not about arresting. It's about pointing out that they're doing crimes. There's citizens out there that, let's say, somebody robs or somebody beats somebody up in front of you. There's citizens out there that will call the police or point out a crime that's happening in front of them. But you see time and time again, cops see people, other cops kill human beings, and they're not pointing that out that it's a crime. They're just keeping quiet or being silent because there's a blue, whatever that blue silent, code.
It's because it gets treated as a policy violation opposed to a crime. And then eventually sometimes it gets put in a light where it then becomes a crime. But by and large, when it happens, it's looked at from the police standpoint against the cops. They look at it as you violated policy. And that to me is like one of the big other issues. If we're talking about what I just mentioned, about you're looking at a system that is at its core sick and how it's built, is that should show you right there that if a department is looking at a member as a policy violation opposed to committing a crime, that should tell you right off the bat where it is viewed from the beginning. And then either because of peer pressure, or unfortunately in these situations too, a lot of information comes out later, then public scrutiny, public pressure, political pressure, then it becomes a crime. And that just shows you right off the bat how justice for people in this country, when it comes to against the cops, it is a much slower and disgusting process than it is for just normal people like you and me. Like if random normal person killed another random normal person, boom, it's immediate. It's a crime. It's this.
It's a crime.
Yeah. And you're already like 9 times out of 10, you're already looked at guilty. But for departments, it starts there, and that's disgusting and it's sad, because how are you supposed to enact massive change when it takes that long to get to a point where somebody gets justice for a situation that to every normal day human being is clear as day?
Hey, Stan, can I address this Michael guy?
Oh, can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
No, I was gonna, because we on the same page. I wanted to ask the guy's name is Michael, okay? Because I didn't know what the person's name was. Okay, maybe if you're saying you don't see them arrest each other cops, right? Do we have any documentation, any videos of a cop telling another cop to stop doing what they were doing? Like
there are very few. They exist, but they're very, 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 very few.
I rarely see them.
Do we have? I've seen none myself. Do we have any instances of cops speaking out against other cops? And I'm talking about that are on the same force, publicly speaking out and saying what this person did is wrong. Do we even have that? Because I personally have not seen that.
Jay, they do exist, but they don't get the play. That's the thing. There is videos of that female cop pulling a sergeant off of trying to attack somebody that's already handcuffed in the back of the car, and the guy turns around and starts choking her. Like, they're there. They just
I didn't see that. Yeah,
they just don't get like, they do exist. It's just they're not going to get the media play. And they're not the attractive. I mean, that's the other aspect of this too, Jay, is media. the way media portrays some of these situations is just downright either sensationalism, or they just, depending on where you're at and what part of the country, are not going to get play because they're pro police, they're pro justice system. Like, they do exist, but very far and few between. And when they are there, they don't get the play, unfortunately.
And Jay, let me just, it's funny you say you never seen documentation, and I'm not trying to push back, but one name that is very infamous is Christopher Donner. Christopher Donner was a cop that avidly tried to report police brutality he saw his partner do, and they literally they terminated him. And this is the type of monster we deal with when it comes to the situation. It's literally cops versus the world, the badge versus the world.
Can I respond to Michael? Oh, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm done. But it's unfortunate because when someone does try to do it, they get hushed, they get fired, they get shunned.
To add to that real quick, there was a cop, his name was Joe Crystal, and he did exactly that. He reported, police brutality, and the response was he got treated like a rat by his fellow cops. He got they literally left dead rats on his windshield because he completely it's like a gang to them.
It's a toxic, violent gang mentality, arguably worse than some gangs in the street. It's more dangerous because nobody sees it, and on top of that, no one can really report it because the fucking union they just cover that shit up, because at the end of the day, that person is against them in their eyes. It's literally the badge versus everybody else. You try to speak up, you're viewed as against the badge. Therefore, you got to be dealt with.
I actually disagree with that portion because it depends on the crime. I watched a ton of cop documentaries, and when it comes to police brutality, I 100% agree with you. But when it comes to drugs, when it comes to child molestation, when it comes to child pornography, those things go way out the window. Because the police departments have no problem calling anyone out if they're stealing drugs, doing drugs on the job, and doing any sort of sexual stuff. So it's only police brutality. So when Michael says that cops don't arrest other cops, that man is straight up lying, because they do it all the time for any other crime outside of police brutality. It happens all the time.
Correct.
So he is straight up lying, and he needs to cut it out and get to his facts before spewing bullshit on that chat.
Agreed. Oh man, I'm glad we could pivot to the real conversations like this, man.
I know people tuned in for basketball, but sometimes some issues are bigger than basketball, and if you don't want to, you have the right to tune in, tune out. It's one of those conversations that it's like it needs to be had, whether depending whatever your view may be in the chat. But at the end of the day, right is right, wrong is wrong, and when it's clear as day, and the fact that you don't either want to talk about it or look the other way, that's more of a personal issue. But
and prayers to Tyre Nichols' family.
Definitely prayers to the Nichols family. Yeah, can I add something to what Saint just said, though? Because I'm going to speak for myself, but I'm going to speak for a lot of Black people when I say this. Because a lot of people have Saint, I'm not saying you did this at all. A lot of people have attempted to pacify Black people by saying in recent years, let's have these conversations. We don't want to have these conversations. We want you to stop doing it.
Yes.
There's got to be a point, and I'm going to speak for myself and AJ here, right? There are conversations, right? And people always talking about, let's have these conversations. No, at a certain point, we want the conversation to turn into action. We don't talk to women just for the conversation. When are we getting to the action?
We trying to fuck.
Well, that's what
Fucking
Julie said.
Julian.
Yo, Julia added the craziest ad lib.
Oh wow, that just
But no,
it's
but
Nets
that-
after dark, y'all. Nets
like
after dark.
when Saint was saying, some of the conversations yes, conversations are great, but what are the conversations leading to?
Yes.
We
Very,
need to
very
get
good.
to the actions. That's what's missing. Actions are missing. It's conversations being conversations being had. We need, what are the actions? That's what we need. And we need
Facts.
consistent actions across the board.
Yeah. And I'll apologize because initially I started the whole thing, but this had to be said because, number one, shout out to Saint, shout out to Rage. Me, Julian, and AJ are black. I'm light skinned, Julian's brown skin, AJ's dark. We are all walks of black culture, black life. If I don't say that, that's just me being disingenuous to myself. So I apologize for anyone that generally came for basketball. But in a situation where, once again, we're met with police brutality, but now we're in a situation where it's black police beating the fuck up on a black man, which, once again, is not new.
Yeah.
This has to be talked about.
Well, and the other thing that's sickening to me is that I heard people, just general conversation from people, where it was like they were using the fact that 5 black cops killed a black innocent man, was that was proof that cops are not racist, or that some cops are not racist, or like other actions, right? Like I was like, and I was like, I'm like, and it was kind of like what Jay said at the beginning, where it was just like, and I think this just exposes an in general thing where, yes, we can all agree at moments where race definitely 100% in majority of situations has played a part. But by and large, there's a bigger systemic problem of just the generality mind view of most cops and how they handle certain situations. And especially when they're wrong, the response and actions during and after that, where it was just like, really, like that's what you gain from this? Like you don't look at the situation and can say, yeah, that it just, the complete unawareness of what you're watching, that you're at a point where you look at something so foul, but as a cop you look at it, or as somebody that's pro cop and looks at it, and your first thought is to look to make an excuse for something else, or look for a justification in their actions. Oh, well, he didn't pull over. Oh, well, he may have been on drugs. Oh, he may. And it's like even if those things are true, it does not, like the fact that you're willing to dismiss clear crimes of an innocent, like defenseless man in a situation against 5 individuals. Yeah. And you're looking for an excuse, a justification, or to make a point on some bullshit reasoning. Like that's another aspect of this that is just, it's like, how do you talk and reason with people like that?
That was meant to be a routine fucking traffic stop, mind you.
Yeah.
And what makes this really fucking weird, it was an unmarked police car.
That's
like,
really
they all were
unmarked police car for a fucking traffic stop.
They all were unmarked. That was like a special, like you could. That's like a you don't do that unless you're in some kind of special situation.
Yeah. No. That
makes it so much worse.
Exactly.
What happened to cops de-escalating situation?
That's literally what you're supposed to do. That's what you're trained to do.
Yeah.
De-escalate, not escalate.
What happened to your training that you go through, that you're supposed to know how to control a suspect when they're, if you want to look at him that way, if that's what you're choosing to call him? What about your training that you say you go through, where you're taught all these 5 individuals, and it looks like they were all very big people, that they couldn't control one individual? Like, where did all your techniques go that you're taught how to control somebody that doesn't want to.
They were not in danger at all. He had no weapons or anything like that. Y'all could have overpowered him. Y'all could have,
I hate the way we
Crazy.
train police. This military style training.
For people that are not in the military. Ain't
What
that
you
crazy?
saw had nothing to do
Ain't
with
that
training.
crazy?
That was just pure vulgar, nasty, anger-ridden. Like that was like a street fight. That was not. There was no training involved in that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. There had to be. Something had to happen with one of the cops and Nichols. Something must have happened because there's no way multiple unmarked cars show up for a traffic stop. Like no way. Like it's a sad situation. Prayers to the Nichols family. That's fucked up. Man.
All right, man. Again, appreciate you guys for tuning in.
All of our
great
viewers
conversation, man. Sometimes you gotta talk about real life stuff. Basketball is a place where we can get away from the real world, but sometimes we gotta talk about real life issues. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff, real talk. Appreciate Jay and Brandon for coming up, giving up their
Shout out to
opinions.
Jay and Brandon.
Make sure you follow Brandon on NJ on Twitter, BL City 5, Jay from BK on Twitter.
Why are you laughing at that, AJ? Why are you laughing at that?
Shout out to everybody that came up to everybody that's in the chat right now. Shout out to all you guys. Again, hit that like button for us. Callaway, let me read the super chat from Callaway. Oh, kinfolk and kinfolk. Yep.
Damn,
that's kinfolk and kinfolk, man.
Ain't that the fucking?
We need to have one of these super team chats again. These super team with Jay and Brandon.
Oh
The
yeah,
super team
those
and
are my
Cypher.
guys.
Oh, shout out to Cypher.
Shout out to Cypher. Yeah, Cypher, the Stat Machine Cypher. Follow Cypher on
AJ,
Twitter.
can we have like a moment at some point during the stream where I'll bring Brandon up and it'll be like a face off?
Y'all gonna have your own.
We'll have it'll be set up. It'll be set up like here. I'll show you what I'll do. Like
since we're at Nuts Kingdom, well, how does everyone feel about Saint being the weakest link out of all you guys?
Here we go.
Yeah,
how embarrassing!
If you guys don't know Brandon is just unbearable.
Like a senile old
just
man.
so
that
you know,
everything.
You have your number one dick riding Ben Simmons fan in Brandon up here.
There we go.
So your number one Ben
Listen,
Simmons
you were
fan happens to be
choking on
Brandon.
meat earlier today.
No, bro. I can share the screen and pull up all your Ben Simmons tweets if you'd like.
Oh no.
I could do that. And the chat.
Yeah, definitely not to this chat. Definitely not to this chat.
The chat would be like, "Don't ever bring Brandon back. Jay's cool, but fuck Brandon." That's what the chat would do. Like,
Why does Jay's thing say white janitor?
Because everybody. That's a joke, bro.
Because he's white.
White janitor from the.
He's a white man.
Yeah, he's white.
Yeah. Somebody was saying that he was. We forgot to put this up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying he was a white janitor.
Yeah, nah. Jay gets called a lot of things. The funniest one, Dave Chappelle. Someone say he sounds like Dave Chappelle.
No, he did. Oh my God, he sounds like Dave Chappelle, bro.
No, the best one was under Scoop and Jay's photo. They said that he makes the best brisket.
Oh my God.
that had me rolling.
Hilarious at the same time.
No, Jay looked like he can barbecue some shit. Y'all know them slides that
Jay, you do look you can cook though. I'm not gonna lie. Jay,
them slides that at the cookout, them slides that Uncle wear at the cookout.
What did you say, Jay?
They basically were saying the way they think Jay's a good cook. The way they were talking is like Jay looks like he's a good cook.
Yeah, but the way he said that Jay looks like he makes
Maybe
good brisket, that shit was hilarious.
Oh man, somebody said a bean pie. Nah,
yeah, that might have been my favorite also.
Hey, I do want to give a little funny because I like showing. We do have to get back to, and I got to get with Rage about. We used to do Where's Kyrie at? We're gonna have Where's Steve Nash at? That's gonna be coming into play.
I'm excited.
But
we should have what is Saint eating on stream?
I'm not eating anything today.
No, you were eating during your whole spiel about.
No, I wasn't.
You were stuffing your face like a Thanksgiving turkey.
That's you overthinking stuff.
No. I heard you stuffing your face.
Like shout out to Scoop, by the way, because Scoop here, I'm going to share it. Scoop had recently, I think it was the same day and game that Scoop and Jay met up and posted that picture. He was Scoop was also having a conversation with whatchamacallit, with Cam Thomas,
Cam
right?
Thomas.
He was just having a casual conversation. And he basically said, and this is blown up, dude. It's like it's gonna turn into a meme. And he asked him, he's like, everybody on like Twitter, social media said, like, dude, every time I see you, you're never smiling. And his response was, ain't shit funny. And it's like, dude, this has got 1.5 million views. Like, this shit blew up. It is hilarious. Like this
everywhere.
This has to turn into a meme. Like,
AJ, my D'Angelo Russell picture that I just posted with no words has like 30,000 views.
Oh my god, yo, that picture went viral, yo. I was like,
should we find
why
that
did that
too?
go viral? Yo?
Here, let's find that.
I remember when Brandon sent that.
I'm sorry,
I was like,
AJ. Like, this is one of the one things I hate with the Nets fandom. We love fucking mediocrity. We love mediocrity. We just
go to my media.
You don't even gotta be.
Go to my media.
No, but first I want to
If
show.
you are mediocre, we will love you. It makes
Nets
no
fans
sense.
love
I love D'Lo,
that
but
team.
come on.
They love the Brooklyn
Come on.
Grit team, bro.
Brandon, what is
Oh my God!
What
What
are
the
you
fuck?
posting, Brandon?
That is to you, Say. That is
What?
your.
What did I do?
Face like
that. So first, Brandon posts a video like this. And this
No.
video has
I
got-
posted
No,
a picture.
this was like a day of. This
I know,
happened
but this
on
video
day
you
type.
posted has almost 800,000 views from Bleacher Report. But where is the? Oh yeah, Brandon posts this photo. And it's had almost, it's about to hit, it's at 29.6. All he did was post the photo because this was related to our Ben Simmons conversation in the DMs about would you take D'Lo, Nas? Oh yeah, Jay, let me ask you that. Would you trade Ben Simmons for D'Lo, Nas Reed, and Taurean Prince for Ben Simmons?
Taurean Prince alone.
Shout out to Mrs. Prince. Stream, listen to me.
I remember. We looked it up on stream before. I remember that.
Look, do yourself and Google Taurean Prince wife. Top 5, dead or alive. Wow. My God, she is an NBA wife for the ages. Have mercy, and she's a beautiful person, also very sweet. The problem I've had with people who posted that fictitious trade is ultimately did we turn Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, that group, are we going to turn them into a guy that's still loading and give up how many draft picks, 2, 3, 4 draft picks and a bunch of pick swaps? Is that what it ultimately turns into? That is a horrible job of trading players. So I can't get with that. No, I'd rather just keep him. And if you end up taking a loss, you end up taking a loss. But no. And he doesn't. Look, I understand people being down on Ben, but on his best day, that guy that's still loading cannot give a defensive effort that Ben will give.
How long he been low?
I'm getting a few hell yeses. I got a maybe. I got in a heartbeat. Jay saying no. AJ, are you taking that trade? Yes or no?
Oh,
I'm going around the horn on this.
No, don't do that.
No, I am.
I don't know about this trade, bro.
So it's amazing.
Wait. What's the full trade though? Is it?
The
Are we
full
giving up
trade
picks
would
too?
be Ben Simmons, and you would get D'Lo, Nas Reed, and Prince.
We're giving up picks though, aren't we?
I'm just leaving it at that.
I said no picks involved, AJ.
Yes, no picks.
No picks involved. I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to come back
thinking about
to
it. No picks involved.
Cypher, are you
AJ, we were talking about this because with the remaining assets left over, you go get John Collins.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
You can move off of Joe Harris and picks and get John Collins.
So essentially, you get the 4 players coming in. You get D'Angelo Russell, Taurean Prince, Nas Reed, and John Collins.
Oh my God.
That's if that other aspect. But you've got to start with this trade. So is it a yes or no or Cypher?
The way Brandon explained it,
for
if the
me,
trade happened like that, yes, I'm doing it.
If there are no picks, then yeah, I'm taking that trade, 100%.
Okay, Julian, are you taking the trade? Oh, I'm sorry. Go on, Cypher.
D'Angelo Russell, despite his defense, he's still averaging 18 points and 6 assists. on 46% shooting.
There you go. That's a point for Brandon. Julian, are you taking that trade?
Why are you asking me?
Because I love your
All
answer.
right. Look, okay. Like I don't know how. I haven't watched D'Lo play in a very long time, but if there
Brandon
was
First
will
12
send you
minutes of the
highlights.
game tonight, he was
Yeah.
7 of 7 from the field, 20 points, 6 for 6 from 3.
but listen, right? But
D'Lo.
listen, right now,
Mhm.
if there really is a way, if there really was a way to get John Collins, then I would probably take it because we would get Nas Reed, we can keep him, and if nothing else, we have D. I would take the trade. That's all I'm gonna say. I would take the trade probably.
I'm just saying, if you added those pieces, I don't know how that doesn't improve our team more than Ben, but that's just me. Chubbs, are you making that trade?
I like John Collins, but not that damn much. Fuck no. Not
All
that
right.
damn. Matter of fact, since this is an already nasty subject, I'll say this. Fuck that. Just call for Ben for Rudy. Why not?
Ben for Rudy Gobert? Oh,
Like
no.
I'm saying,
nah.
the combo is nasty. You might as well say fuck it. Let's do Ben
All right,
for
I'm
Rudy.
out of here. We're talking about Rudy Gobert.
Wait, dude, AJ, we got 2 more people. I'm saving Brandon for last. Rage, yes or no?
Yeah,
The fuck when you get in here?
just now.
Did you get in here?
Rage said yes. Brandon, you get to close this out. Make the case. Are you doing it? If it leads to also John Collins, you're doing it 100%?
No.
No, now you're saying no?
But you just told me that D'Lo was 7 for 7 in the first 10 minutes.
So
Yeah,
you're
first
telling
12
me
minutes.
that trading Ben Simmons for Nas Reed, D'Lo, and Prince, no picks, and then that trade leads to John Collins, and we give up Harris and a pick or two or a young guy. You don't think all those players makes us better than keeping Ben Simmons on this team?
No, because I think we can get John Collins without trading Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
But even still, all those players doesn't make this a better team.
Remember,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go yes on this whole thing.
Like,
We're also forgetting Nas Reed is in the trade, and Nas Reed is an incredible player.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I would take it. He's in the
Yeah.
trade. Very
Just
nasty, very nasty question. Very nasty intentions.
Well,
But let me
That's what we're
answer DFS's thing. He said that he doesn't think Minnesota would do it. That is a complete lie. D'Angelo Russell is a unrestricted free agent this summer. He's playing for a contract. Minnesota is not going to pay him. They will be trading him by the deadline. Yeah.
mind y'all, the whole intent of D'Lo in Minnesota was for the trio of Cat, Debo, D'Lo. They ended up with Cat, Anthony Edwards, and fucking Rudy Gobert. It's not going to end well for the man that's still loading. He's
Hey,
out.
and Isaac would say this.
Man,
Sorry,
you better
Prince
stop
is
playing.
my-
He trolling. He trolling.
We all know Isaac has different standards.
Mike,
Isaac-
nobody's going to win this trade when Harden walks to Houston this summer.
Oh,
Nobody's going to win this
Brandon's
trade.
other hot take. Brandon thinks
Isn't he signed for another year?
No.
Harden
He has a player option. He's going to opt out and go to Houston.
Brandon thinks he's
That's
going
a
to
player.
if the
I
Sixers
thought they gave
don't
him
win,
the 2 years, $100 million guarantee. Oh,
It's
wow.
a
one of
1
them was
plus
an
1.
option. Yeah.
Ew. That's
So if
gross.
they blow it up, he thinks he's walking to the Rockets.
You might as well. Shit, you ain't gonna win no championship. Might as well go back there.
I'm saying if the Sixers get, I wouldn't say it's impossible to think, but that's only year 2 of what they have. On top of that, Embiid's not going to get any younger.
No, they're stuck with a lot of stuff. They paid PJ Tucker like $30 million for the next 3 years. They're fucked.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot that. Thank God they got Tyrese Maxey.
I
Who
think it's
arguably should have
only,
been a net, but hey, here we are.
it's only fitting to end with this today, AJ. Where'd it go?
Is this the most people that have been on stream?
Well, talking at once. Oh
Yeah.
no, we've had a much.
We've
I
had
think I think there was a stream where we had like
9?
all of us, Christian Winfield,
Yeah.
Jay, like we had Scoop was up. I think we had a big.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Brandon
Like
was actually,
10
Brandon was
10
actually
people.
too, right?
I think we maxed out our people, but this is getting close. But you want to shut it down, AJ?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
All right, let's
I got
go.
nothing. Unless y'all got something.
Appreciate
I
everybody
Hey,
coming
AJ, I
by.
got something for you. You better stop being scared of spaces and come on and speak.
Oh
one
yeah,
of these
this is
times.
the other.
Yo,
He-
why y'all gotta
yeah,
why y'all gotta do this, man? Like I can't enjoy the spaces. I love y'all spaces, man. I enjoy y'all spaces.
Listen, you need to stop being scared and get up on stage.
All right.
How do you get on stage?
Brandon, I
No,
think
but
the thing
Brandon,
with
but
that-
Brandon was already blowing his cover like that one day with
Oh,
the, like
yo, I
AJ
was
likes
dying
to
that
kick
day,
it with his
too.
heart, and Brandon's up there.
How do you
She was looking
man's
at me like,
cover.
"Why are you laughing so hard?" I was like, "Oh god."
how do you speak on when you get into spaces? Because I came to the last.
You got to
one.
request it. Oh yeah, we got to get Julian on Spaces
That's
too.
true.
I came to the last one. I stayed there for like 30 minutes or an hour, but I know how to speak.
Matter of fact, next time Saint holds a Nets Kingdom Space, we got to get Julian up there, man. We got it, mandatory.
No one wants to hear the Saint host of spaces.
Brandon is the only one that doesn't like me.
That's like watching an old person go up
Brandon
the
will
stairs
give
on,
me
on one
no
of those like
credit.
electric wheelchairs.
Even though I was right
Wheelchair,
all
that's
last
crazy.
season and he was wrong, he still will not give me credit.
Oh my god!
But I mean, come on. I should find all the Ben Simmons tweets unless he's like gotten rid of them and shared them. We could have a whole spaces on what Brandon's got wrong.
Oh my
We could-
god!
Yeah,
And 10 back next game.
That's ruthless.
day to day. I don't know if I want him back next game.
Ben will be back for the Lakers.
He's
to guard
saying
LeBron.
you said
No
you
matter
don't know if
how
want him
much
back
you
next
hate
game?
Ben Simmons, Saint, you need him to guard LeBron or Anthony Davis.
That's the only thing we. Is there a
You
way
need
that
him.
we? Is there a way that like? Can they make a new rule that allows Ben to play defense, but as soon as we go on offense, he can just jump out on the sideline and they can put somebody in for
Like we in
offense?
hockey. There's like hockey.
I'm saying we're gonna hockey.
Can we substitute a hockey rule?
Are
for
we
Ben
shocked,
Simmons?
AJ, that Saint wants us to be like hockey so he can be around a bunch of white people?
I don't even like hockey, dude. I don't like hockey, first of all. But that hockey rule would be great with Ben Simmons. I think it should be just a one for him only.
Are you more comfortable watching hockey, Saint?
I've never even been to a hockey game, don't have a hockey team, and I've never.
You just be a bunch of around like a bunch of Europeans and white people.
I can't stand
Yeah, no,
hockey.
that's
I
pretty
can't
much
stand
hockey, yeah.
golf. I can't stand tennis. Oh, here's a good one. Oh, here's a great one. And I told Brandon I was proud of him, and then he just said, "Fuck you." We'll end on two things. We'll end on these two things. We broke Brandon finally. When it came to Ben Simmons, we'll end on this. Where is it? Okay, cool.
You
There
see
we
how upset
Yeah,
Saint
I
is
am
with me?
out on
Look at
being
him. He's
positive
just like-
about Ted.
He is
Oh, I saw this
just
tweet.
on my
I am
timeline.
done. This is embarrassing. No way he gets traded because who would want that? Nets would literally
Look
have
how
to
many
give up
views I got on that.
assets. I know because it was amazing. And then I said, "I'm proud of you." And then, of course, in time, you said, "Fuck you." And then I laughed at you. But hey, everybody, thank you for coming around.
Yes.
And we will end like this.